Story that I experienced while working inside the jail. One of the inmates came to the healthcare and told me, I need medicine because I have a headache and I cannot sleep, I have tummy and so on. Give me the medicine, give me Tylenol. I said, before we give you, we have to know why you have a headache. No, give me now. I said, no, it's not the protocol. Well, anyway, he was forced to say, well, I have a headache. You don't know what's going on? So I asked, did you have a good sleep last night? No. How come you were not able to sleep? Well, I don't know. I have a headache. It keeps asking that way. Finally, I said, do you drink water? Of course I do. How much water did you drink today? And that was in the afternoon, about 3 o'clock. And he said to me, wow, I drank 6 cups of coffee and 1 glass of water. And I haven't been to the bathroom for 7 days. I say, no wonder, you don't need a medicine. What will I do? I said, well, if you promise that you will obey me, we will solve your problem. So I said, okay, for every 10 minutes, I'm going to give you 4 glasses of water. So do it now. So he drank. After 10 minutes, he said, am I going to drink again? Yes. So he drank 4 glasses again. By the time it's about 9 minutes after that, he said, I don't want to drink anymore. I have to go to my room, to go to the toilet. There you go. Solved the problem, no headache, and he was able to defecate. What's the reason? Because of water. Water was created by God abundantly. In fact, the whole earth is covered with how much water? Well, 70%, right? Our bodies are covered with water too. Can you imagine if you don't have water? Let me tell you this. Okay. Water is found everywhere in our body. You can find water in the aorta, which is the large blood vessel that carries oxygenated blood to different parts of the body. And you can find water in zygoma. Have you heard of that? If you went to medicine, you will hear the word zygoma is a bone in the skull. It has water too. Our bodies consist of more than 60% water by weight. And for instance, the brain is 70% water. The lungs, 90% water. Blood is 83% water. Water is universal solvent. It dissolves a lot of compounds. Now, how important is water? How important is water? Very important. Let me tell you, how long will a man live without water? A maximum of 2 weeks. But if you have no food, but you have water, how long will you live? About 92 days. So water is very important. It is understandable that when Jesus actually did what we call fasting for 40 days, it doesn't mean he did not drink water. He drank water, but he did not eat anything. So there is something that we have to remember. If you lack water, what will happen to you? Yeah, you will be dehydrated. Okay. If you are lacking adequate water in your blood, your blood will become concentrated. Well, to give you a picture of what would happen, imagine you are washing dishes with a concentrated orange juice mix. For sure, you will have a very sticky situation. Can you imagine, if your blood lacks water, that's what happens. You are just like washing dishes with concentrated orange juice mix. Now, the first signs of dehydration, because if it is too much, what happens is that it is a medical emergency. But we have to remember that there are signs of mild dehydration. That is 1 to 3% reduction in body weight as a result of fluid loss, or something like we do not have loss of blood. Here's something that I'd like you to remember. Number one, if you have less fluid in the body, you will have headache. The body is going to send a signal to the brain saying, you better have a headache so that the body will move. Number two, you will have fatigue. You are so tired. And then, of course, you're going to say something that you do not mean. You will be confused. Number four, you have loss of appetite. Number five, you will have a flushed skin because the kidneys are concentrating on the water that is left there, so it recycles the water from the loop. Mainly it goes back again to what? Glomerulus. Then of course we have heat intolerance. That means we cannot tolerate heat because we lack water. We will have dry mouth and dry eyes. And then of course, lack of skin elasticity. You call that skin turner. And then of course, you will have a stomach pain that could be confused as hunger. But in fact, it is actually lacking of water. And of course, you will have a slower metabolism. Did I mention that you will be thirsty if you lack water? Yes, you will be. What happens is that there is a signal to the brain. Usually it's the anterior pituitary gland that sends the signal to the part of the body saying to the diencephalon on the side here, the part of the brain says, you better drink, you're low. Because if this one is actually ranked, you will have problems because you will never feel thirsty. So it sends signal, and what happens? The mind begins to think, oops, I am thirsty. The feet begin to walk, and the hands extend to get the glass of water and drink. That's what happens to you. Now, there's something that I'd like to tell you. The latest study of 20,000 participants discovered that men who drank more than 8 ounces of glass of water a day, they cut the risk of heart disease by 46%. The number is actually greater in women because it is 59%. So wonderful. And women should have a lot of water too. Why? Because you have bigger lungs than men. You know that? In preparation for your pregnancy, because you carry the baby for 9 months. There is a case that when people have what we call orthopnea. You know what is orthopnea? When you lie flat on the bed as if you cannot breathe, so you have to get up. You have low blood pressure and you have problems with heart. That is a reduced blood pressure. When you're sitting and then you stand up, then you feel as if you are going to faint. But if you drink 1 to 2 glasses of water, you can tolerate that movement. You see the importance of water? Water, inadequate intake of water has preventative effect on colon cancer. Why? Because in the colon, in the large intestines, the water is being absorbed by the body, so what is left is the bulk. If you have less water, what will happen to you? You will have a situation called capital C. Constipation, yes. And when you have constipation, you will have difficulty defecating. Now the problem is, you have to pray that there is no virus that will come in and change the DNA to RNA, and what happens? The free radicals will spread all over the place and you have colon cancer. You see, here's something. Water reduces the incidence of cancer in the colon in men by 92% if you have adequate amount of water. Postmenopausal women who drink more than 5 glasses of water every day lower the risk of breast cancer by 79% and bladder cancer by 51%. Water is free unless you buy it from superstore. But water is free. Now, there's a problem. All of the things that we drink, whether it's bottled water like this one or the one from the top, are all acidic. And according to experts, bacteria and viruses thrive on acidic environment. How do you make that alkaline? All you have to do is squeeze lemon in a glass of water and it becomes alkaline. So you don't have to worry about that. In that way, what happens is that it combats some of the bacteria that causes sickness. Even virus that causes what? Colds. And I was just thinking, one day I said to myself, well, they say that if I have colds of this certain kind of virus, then I will not be attacked by the virus again. But how come I still have colds sometimes in a year or twice a year? It is because the rhinovirus that causes, running nose and colds has 200 species. So I have to live 200 years to be immune. But there's another one, the ruby virus, that's another 200. So I have to live 400 years to be free from colds.